guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
Let's get into it. I know that we missed last week, but super excited. We have a really good episode to recap. So run us through headlines.
Okay, so it was said originally that Erica would be dropped down to a friend of, but they're just going to bring everybody back as a housewife. So Kyle, Dorit, Sutton, Erica, and Bose. And they're going to be adding two more people, but they haven't said who the two more people are. And it was told by a source that Kyle had a conversation with production, and they basically told her, like, you need to step it up. And you
They
need,
told Kyle she needs to step it up.
yeah, she needs to step it up in some way, share something, have a new storyline, something like that. Um, and she said she's not going to compromise on what she shares on the show, and she wants to keep those who want to remain private private. So
Okay, wait.
I don't
I have
know.
a couple thoughts, and I feel like everyone's gonna hate my thoughts on this
Tell
because
me.
first of all, I just think Beverly Hills just needs to get like go on pause. I'm over Beverly Hills if I'm being honest. So they were going to demote Erica to a friend, but they're going to bring back Sutton as full time. What does Sutton share other than tearing down women and pretending to have Kyle's back? What's her storyline? She doesn't share anything. So why
Well,
don't they demote her?
I think Sutton had a good season this past season. She was involved
For
in
once, because
some,
she's
right.
talking about her mom and
If
like
we're
those
just
issues.
going based on the one previous season, Sutton did great and Erica did not. But if we're going based on time on the show, Erica definitely gives a lot more than Sutton.
Absolute. I mean, I feel like it. So I feel like Erica definitely needs to step it up, but so is Sutton. So what this next season, what is Sutton going to talk about? Because we already know about like, how about her talking about how hard it is like actually dating nowadays? Does she feel lonely? What does she do during that kind of time? Like, we want to know your thoughts, like your real thoughts of your life. If you want Erica to open up, Sutton needs to open up because we're not going to talk about her. She can't have the same storyline about her mother this next season because I'm over it. We already know how Reba is. I don't want to be nowhere near that woman, but that's how she is. So, and Kyle, I'm just like, Kyle, like, why don't you just bow out gracefully? Like, leave. You are the queen of Beverly Hills in my eyes. And she's not willing to share what's going on in her marriage, her dating life. So it's like, let these like people fend for themselves because she gives them, she, people talk about her every season. So she is the storyline of Beverly Hills, in my opinion. But I know that's,
No, I
people are
get
gonna
it.
come for me.
I do agree with, I guess, what production told her, which is pretty much either piss or get off the pot. Like, give us something or you gotta go. Like, and
I'd
I'm
be so interested to see if she left, like, what would they do? I just want to know, like, for reals though. I'm not being shady, but
like,
I
who
would
would
be
step up?
interested. Yeah, who would step up? I think they should like recast the entire show, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of over the same storyline every season. Like, I'm
Hmm.
just over it. Okay,
I
but
don't
anyway.
know, because I don't think the recasting works. I feel like we tried that with the
Yeah. And
actors.
also, did you hear, because on Two T's in the Pod, Tamara made a joke. Was it Tamara or Dolores? I think it was Dolores who told Teddy, like, are you coming back? I think Teddy might be making a comeback because she wouldn't answer yes or no. Like, like think about it. If you're not going through production, if you're not going through casting, it's an automatic like, no, I wish. She's always like, I wish they would call me. Alex Baskin, call me. And she was like, I can't talk about it. I plead the fifth. So I'm like, that's interesting.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't want to get too like excited for something, especially when it's probably not even going to come out until next year.
Next headline.
All right. Okay, so we know Real Housewives of New York was just like a hot stinking mess. It looks like all the girls went to dinner and except Bryn, and Sai posted about it. And she got a bunch of comments like saying like, is this like a goodbye dinner to Real Housewives of New York because of I guess like her caption was a little misleading or whatever. And she commented back to a bunch of people and was like, no, like, I don't know why everybody thinks that. The show's not going anywhere. Nobody said anything to any of us. Da 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 da.
Hmm.
So then news broke about a week and a half ago. I don't know if you saw it. It was literally everywhere where they were like, Real Housewives of New York was canceled, blah, 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 blah. And Andy and Bravo came out and said that's absolutely not true. Real Housewives of New York is not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
we will be getting more Real Housewives of New York. However, as you probably already know, there are 4 new shows coming out on Bravo. So Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Ladies of London, the Valley Persian Style, and the Wife Swap Real Housewives edition. So Real Housewives of Rhode Island came out with a cast photo. Well,
They did?
it's not like a cast photo, it's a photo of the cast.
Okay. I
It's
haven't
just
seen
them.
this.
It's just them together. I'll send it to you. But people had a lot of thoughts pretty much just because they all kind of look the same. They look like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but like
Oh
older.
my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and they look very like influencery. Like they just don't look like authentic
Hmm.
Real Housewives, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And they're all white. So it's a lot of lack of diversity there. I just sent it to you.
Oh,
So I'll
yeah.
insert it here for you guys. But yeah,
This
they
one
just
girl
pretty
looked like
much
Dolores.
right. It literally looks like Dolores, Teresa, and Melissa
Oh my gosh, yeah.
multiplied.
That's these girls are not in it. I mean, actually, I don't know. First of all, I am gonna be tuning in. So
Sure.
I heard Dolores on the podcast recently. She said that Rhode Island is kind of like is gonna give off kind of Jersey vibes too. A lot of Italian girls, they're very passionate. So I
Yeah.
am excited to see the dynamics of that show. But yeah, these girls all like look alike.
Yeah, I wish they had some more diver. I just want some more diversity. I wish there was
Yeah.
diversity in a lot of the cast, not like in Beverly Hills, we were begging for diversity. They added Garcelle. That didn't go very well. So they had Crystal, they've had now they have Bose. And but like even with like Atlanta and Potomac, like I just kind of wish they would throw in a little sprinkle here or there of somebody.
Mm.
I mean, I know Atlanta had Kim for a while, but I mean, it was Kim.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm obviously gonna watch it. So
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm interested.
yes. Okay, so 2 things about Portia. First of all, Portia has come out and said that she used to have a relationship with R. Kelly for a very short period of time. Um, and honestly, I don't remember where I got this. Like, I know I saw it on Instagram, but I can't remember if she said it on a podcast or if it was in like a book she wrote. It was
Hmm.
one or the other. But long story short, she said she met a mutual friend between her and R. Kelly. And she was introduced to R. Kelly. R. Kelly flew her out from Atlanta to Chicago several times. And supposedly he was going to work with her on music. That's another story. I don't think she'll be
Hmm.
getting signed anytime soon. But she was supposed to go sing for him, and instead he told her, like, no, you need to take off your clothes and get naked. And that was the extent of the story that she told about that. So she didn't really go into detail on what happened after her clothes
Hmm.
came off. But she said she saw him 2 more times after that. And the last time she saw him, she heard a woman in another room getting beaten. So
Yeah.
that's why she stopped going to see him. But I was like, that's a heck of a story with not a lot of detail.
I know, that's
Sure.
crazy. That's wild. I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but I also like, I mean, I would want more details. Like, and why is she sharing this now?
Right.
But I can't say I'm surprised with anything with R. Kelly. So, you know?
Yeah, it's not that it surprises me, but it's just like I feel like wouldn't she have come out with this like when all the R. Kelly stuff came out or
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to know in the context of why how she was sharing this. Was she talking about like a story that she's never said? You know, has she ever encountered like a situation that she was very uncomfortable with? So, like, I would
yeah,
want to know the context of like why she shared that.
yeah. I just thought that was wild.
Oh, but Portia,
But
Portia,
getting
Portia.
into the episodes, because we're recapping the last 2 episodes, which I believe are episodes 10 and 11. But Portia the other day posted on her feed.
Hmm.
Did you see it about Shamea? And
Hmm.
I'll insert it here for you guys if you didn't see it. But she said, "I'm gonna just say this. I'm watching new episode," and then she added Shamea. She said, "Now
Hmm.
don't take it there. Don't imply shit about Diane Williams. I've been keeping it cute and quiet, and you can do and say what you want to me. But hear me when I say wrong road." So she pretty much was just telling Shamea not to talk about her mother. So I didn't watch the last two episodes when they came out. I waited to watch them until today, and we're filming
Back to
this
back.
right.
Okay.
I watched them back to back. We're filming this May 20th, Tuesday. So I just watched last week and Sundays this morning. And so I saw that she posted that a couple days ago, obviously before I saw the episode. And I was under the impression that Shamia said something wildly outrageous about her mother. And the whole episode, I was like, what'd she say? Well, like, I'm still looking for it. What happened? Like, I feel like, did I miss it? What did she say?
No, I don't think you missed it. I think it was how Shamia implied that how I took it was that Shamia, Portia and her mom, Miss Diane, and then Portia and Shamia's mom were good friends, and there was some sort of fallout. But I feel like she implied that it was on Diane's doing. And I'll be honest, I don't like how Miss Diane says on camera, like, oh, you can't trust Shamia, be careful with her, she's not a good friend. Like, she's trashing Shamia. Like, let's just be
Yeah.
honest. You know what I mean? Like, I would be really hurt if, mm, like, my best friend's mom is saying that, and I've known her for 20 years. But I'll be honest, there's like two things that are off limits for me. Like, if you talk about my mom, like, or I guess three things. If you talk about my family,
Yeah.
I I I see red. You can't talk about my family, unfortunately. And I feel like that's where Portia's coming from. Because I feel like Shamia was implying that something happened because of Portia's mom. And I think Portia was like, you're not about to paint that picture. But you're right, because Shamia didn't trash her mom. Not at all. So I don't know. I want to know what went down there, like between the two of them.
I mean, I do too, but I don't think they're going to talk about it for
We're
sure.
never gonna find out. We're never gonna find out. But it just shows that like it's weird. Portia and Shamia have been friends for so, so long, but there's been so much like hurt feelings there that like there's resentment from Shamia. Portia didn't even go to her wedding. And I'm like, you guys are best friends. Like, what happened? Like, why couldn't you guys work through that? There's just stuff that I think there's a lot of stuff there that they don't talk about.
And did you hear Portia's like explanation of why she didn't go to the wedding? Because she was like, oh, well, I first of all, it was the wedding in Kenya. Like she's implying that like it's not as important, and they are both equally as important. I had two weddings. Now, mine were obviously not as grand, probably as Shamia's were, but I had two. And if there's a person who was invited to both but only came to one, and I was very offended by that. No, they weren't from my side, so I didn't try to fight that battle, but I
Mhm.
personally felt like that was really jacked up.
Yeah.
And so I could see where Shamia's coming from with that, but also Portia said they weren't speaking at the time. Like I guess like a month or two, she said they got into it and they weren't speaking, and that's why she didn't go. For me, big events, baby showers,
Hmm.
weddings, deaths,
Yeah.
anything that's
Hmm.
a big event and we're in like a scuffle and you don't show up for me in that area, or even if we're not in a scuffle and I feel like you don't show up for me when that time comes, you're drawing a line in the sand and you're saying like
Absolutely.
I'm not
Yep.
important. Like I take
Yep.
it very seriously if you don't show up to those
Yeah.
events. So for me, if I was Shamia, if we were having a tit for tat and Portia decided that she wasn't coming to my wedding in Kenya, we wouldn't have been friends again. Like we
I
would get past
I
that.
agree. I agree. I don't know what the arguments were about, but I
Mhm.
definitely agree with you, on like those important life things that are happening. Like you show up for your person, like if they mean that much to you. They've been friends since they were in elementary school. I'm like, I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
how did you
um,
feel about their conversation that they had?
at the restaurant, um, I feel like Portia was like playing a character in that point. I feel like Shamea was being really honest with her, and she probably was coming at her like real heavy. And she was a little more aggressive and passionate than Portia was maybe expecting. Now, I don't know if Portia wasn't expecting Shamea to act like that because A, it was on camera and she didn't want to put their business on camera, or B, because she really had no idea Shamea felt that way. Um, but either way, I feel like she should have just calmed down and just let her talk. At the end, she ended up doing that and she apologized and she was like, let's just move forward. But then in her confessional, she pretty much made it seem like I just said that because I didn't want to deal with it. It wasn't that she was necessarily sorry.
Hmm.
It was just something that she didn't want to talk about anymore.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't think Shamia came off aggressive at all. Like
No,
just
I don't think she came off aggressive. I didn't mean to say it like that because
okay. I was like,
I just feel
I felt
like
like
I feel
yeah.
like it wasn't as like, girl, you know that
Shamia came,
thing.
she was
Yeah,
direct. She was like, here's my heart, and I want you to hear it for like the first time. It sounds like she's awful at confrontation. It sounds like she never tells Portia how she really feels. And I feel like Portia always gets it her way. I feel like we're in Portia's world and what she says goes. And I think Shamia was just like, I'm over that. Like, I'm going to speak to her wholeheartedly. And I think what you said about Portia was both that she was surprised that she was talking to her like that on camera. And then two, I think she was really caught off guard. For me, I think you could see it in Portia's face that she was like, "Oh my God, like I don't want to lose my friendship. I'm going through a divorce and now I'm like having a breakup with my friend." I feel like in that moment she looked so like, "How can I just save this right now? Because like my whole life is like I'm in hell right now." Um, but I was proud of Shamia because I feel like she's like, no, like you're going to hear me out. And when Portia was like, all right, like you ready to go? Let's pack up our food. And
yeah,
Shamia was like, wow, wow, okay, cool. Like, okay, cool. You could see the hurt in, she's like, wow, like we're not like as good as I thought we
yeah.
were. But I don't know, like it's weird because knowing what we know the episode ended good for them, but what we know now in real time, they're not cool. So I'm like, that
But
makes
I
me
think it's because Portia just basically like tried to slap a band-aid on it and was like, okay, like I'm sorry, whatever, and just kept it pushing. And I've had a bad friendship breakup with someone I thought was gonna be a lifelong friend. And I was Shamia in the situation. Like I never really said anything about what irritated me. Not because so I'm assuming or thinking Shamia might be feeling like this. It's not that you don't say anything because you don't want to express yourself, but you just don't say anything because you know it won't be received. And maybe it's stuff that you can kind of get over, you know what I mean?
mm, yeah.
So I'm thinking that that's some of the reason why she held some stuff in, but I think it's like piling on. But when she said, I want off camera Portia to be on camera, I was like, okay, so there's obviously like a
Oh,
lot going on. But I also get Portia's point of view. Like she's going through this life-changing thing and
mm-hmm.
she can't really give maybe what Shamia needs. And I completely understand that as well. But you need to just
Yep.
say that. Just say because I
Yep.
think she said it to Shamia. I'm pretty sure she only said it to other people or in her confessional where she's like, I can't deal with this right now. I have way too much going on. She could have
Mm-hmm.
just easily said that. Like, I don't have it to give, you know?
Yeah, I think she says it to her at the end when in the beginning she's like, stop. She's like, please stop. She's like, I don't have the bandwidth. And Shamia's like, oh, you don't have the bandwidth? That's when Shamia tells her, like, I have a lot going on too. And Shamia does. I mean, she has a child who has major health issues. You know what I mean? Like that she has to go through every day. Like that hasn't stopped since her baby was born. So I agree with you though. It's like I want to see them be able to resolve this in real time too, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we just don't know about. And when Shimea does say like, "Hey, I want you to be like how you are with me on off camera, like be that on camera," it just makes me it confirms that Portia, when the cameras are on, she's a different person. I feel like the whole Drew stuff, she's a different person because she's doing it for the show. Like she won't tell Drew to her face, like you broke girl code. She's like, no, I'm fine. I'm unbothered. You don't matter to me. And then confessionals, yeah, she hurt me. I thought I could count on her. Like just say how you feel. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
cameras were gone. Say how you feel. I don't know. So
What did
yeah.
you think about them meeting up with Ralph?
That was weird. And like
That was
that was
very
all for
weird.
show. That was all for show. That was such poor planning for the producers. Like that was nobody, I don't feel like nobody was like, that was great. Like, yay. Like that was cringy.
It
That
was
was
super
weird.
weird. And then Portia claimed that she didn't know that Ralph was going to be there, but her first
All
thought
fake.
was to pull out text messages from Dennis about Drew. Like
It was
she's
weird.
like, "Well, I had to share that with Ralph. You didn't. You didn't at all."
It was so bad. It was like, come on, this is the 16th season of Atlanta. Like, is this what the Housewives has gotten to? Like, it was pretty pathetic, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Well, that was Atlanta. We got to talk about Secret Lives
yes,
of Mormon Wives because
yes.
I feel like I'm on a high, and anyone who wants to talk about it, I'm like, let's talk about it. First off, I think you said earlier to me that Demi is still your girl.
I I like Demi, okay? And I feel like she has valid points, but I think she goes about it in a very aggressive way that is not
Okay,
for
wait.
this crowd.
Okay, so I just have to say right off the bat, because I know you're not this kind of friend. So you're telling me that what she did to Jesse of willing to take more money and like let Jesse go, and that's her best friend? That's okay. Then number two,
I
basically
didn't say
talking and then basically talking crap about her best friend's business in general and basically telling the girls who are in the group not to go there.
it's even Taylor admitted that what Demi said was don't go to Jesse for color because I've never seen her color work. That is what she said. And it was before they were best friends. It was like right when they met.
Demi is not a
Jesse said that
girl's
too.
girl.
I didn't say she was.
Even
I'm
if
just
she doesn't know that she's not good at color, they're in this show together. Why wouldn't you hype that girl
This
up and be like,
was before the show. It was when they first met and they first got in mom talk.
and
That's what she said.
Demi even has the balls to tell Jesse, oh, but like it's not a big deal. It's just hair.
I didn't say she was right about everything. I'm just clarifying what was said. She didn't say like, "Oh, she's trash at doing hair. Never get your hair done." And it's like she said it yesterday. This was years ago when they first
But
met.
earlier, before season two started, she was willing to let Jess get kicked off the show for more money.
Yes, that was wrong. I didn't say she was
So
right.
wrong.
It
I
was very
question your
wrong.
character, Morgan.
You question me all you want. Question
Like,
me all you want.
like
I
how
I
how
I I'm still rooting for her because I really
she's
liked her
so
from
thirsty.
season one.
What did you think of Taylor and her whole situation?
Oh, the scene with her parents, I was flabbergasted. My jaw has never hit the floor so quickly in my life than when her dad literally was basically like, "You're a dirty slut and you deserve nothing." There's no way. The way I could not have snatched my baby up quick enough, while cursing everybody at the table out, and left. I
I
don't
know.
care. I don't care if I open my legs to every man on the planet. That doesn't give you the right to treat me like trash and lie. And then you're gonna sit here with my baby daddy while he fake crying, looking stupid, and serve
Oh
him
my
up?
God.
Absolutely.
That man cries more than I cry. Okay. I think she needs to really work on herself and let that loser go. They're so toxic together. They're never going to be able to heal if they don't do the work separately. He's so pathetic. Like, I'm so sorry. You're an addict. I feel bad for that situation. Be better. You have a son now. Be better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And how her family is just like, we like him. Like, we want you guys to make it work. Do you not see? how toxic this environment is for their kids. And yeah, when her dad was like, "What is it about you?" And Taylor's like, "I know I'm trash. That's what I'm trying to say." And I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was sad.
wow. I was like, way to make her, way to build her up, like hold her accountable, yes. But like don't push her when she's already like at rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It
Yeah, because
was
I
just
don't think she should be upset about him lying about something that happened when they had only seen each other 3 times. But I also don't think her stepdad should be calling her a dirty whore.
yeah. I think what it is, I think she's so upset because she can't, because again, I think she's so to me, she's emotionally immature
Hmm.
and she needs to work through her issues personally. She's so insecure. She doesn't believe in herself. She thinks that what she's done is so trashy that she can't even get it. Like, I'm like in my head, did he cheat on you recently? No, this is from when they were not even together. Their baby's already
Yeah.
born. It's a year later. I'm so confused why she's so angry. So it's like it's weird. I can see why Dakota's kind of like, whoa, what the heck is happening? But Dakota, he's pathetic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny
I
because
don't
that's the
know.
same thing. So one of my best friends was talking to this guy. They're not official or anything. They're just talking. And he recently found out that she was like messing with somebody else like a while ago though. Like it was in the beginning
Hmm.
and she met this new guy. And now she hasn't messed with that guy in a while. And he got so mad at her when he found that out. And I was like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Then why does it matter? Like literally why does I don't understand." So it's the
Yeah.
same thing for me. It's like if you guys weren't exclusive to each other, you didn't have any type of commitment. What are you upset about? It's not clicking for me.
It's not clicking for me either because again, I think it just shows that Taylor needs to work on herself before she needs to love herself before she can be in a relationship. And I really do like Taylor, I'll be honest. I think I know she's crazy. She has her issues, but I feel like she speaks her truth. Don't forget to like, save, subscribe, share this with a friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, don't forget to follow us on all socials on Threads. I was about to say Twitter. We're not on Twitter.
On Twitter,
Oh, wait,
Threads,
there she is.
Instagram, TikTok. Yes. Follow us
Oh
on
my,
all the things. This has been a choppy episode, but anyways, follow us anyway. Okay.
yes.
Guys,
Okay,
bye.
bye. Oh my